Hey everyone, it's India Sage, and this is my top 5 news stories of 2018. How exciting! Okay, so going right into it, number 5, Babe Styling Studios Beauty and Boss Day was such a great experience, being able to get in there and just meet some of the kids that were getting their hair done or getting their hair cut and just learning their stories and why this was important to them. Confidence is such a big component to growing up as a young person, and this opportunity to just, allow these kids to feel beautiful and to feel handsome and to feel confident and to be a part of that was just something so surreal. It allowed me to show the real side of Wilmington and what it means to be someone that's from Wilmington or lives in Wilmington, and that is giving a helping hand. So shout out to Eben and the entire team at Babe Styling Studios. You guys are awesome. It really showed what it means to be a Wilmingtonian, and I love this story, love the event. One of my top 5.
Hey guys, so I'm here on 2nd and Market right now at Babe Styling Studios because they're having their 3rd annual Back to School Boss Day, where young men will be getting their haircuts and young women will be getting their new hairdos. So I know that these kids are really excited because they'll be able to just transform and have a good time at that. I know the Wilmington Police Department is one of the sponsors for this event, so they'll be in there interacting with the kids. I don't want to talk for too much longer. I want to see what's going on in there, so I want you guys to follow me. Blow dryers and clippers are being heard all across the country as kids prepare for back to school. The first day is exciting for some, however, lack of clothes and cost of grooming causes an issue in the classroom. One reason why America's kids are being bullied. Jaleesa Lewis is one of the managers at Babe Styling Studios and hopes to put a stop to this epidemic.
Even though beauty starts within, even with the outward appearance, that does bring about a certain confidence. So yes, I do think that with that being said, getting your hair done, getting your nails done, being dressed properly, that all plays a role in being bullied and, again, the decrease of it happening.
Wilmington Police Department and Babes intended to have an impact on the youth in Wilmington. They say kids are noticing how superficial society can be and how it affects their peers.
It means a lot because a lot of kids don't have the privileges that I do to go to a Catholic school private, and just to get pampered for a day, it's awesome. I love it.
Salon owner Eben Flagg explained how this annual event came together.
There's an officer by the name of Officer Champion, and one night, she's been a friend of mine for a while, but one night I had all the girls over, my daughters and their friends having a sleepover, and Officer Champion came by and she brought all her tools and everything, and she talked to them about being a woman on the force in the city. All the great things and the reason why they shouldn't be afraid of police officers. And I saw how my children and their friends were enlightened, so I asked her to let's join together and create this event. And 3 years going, it's growing and growing, and I love it.
Flagg shared that occasions like this really work to combat bullying.
It allows them to see how women should be treated. The experience allows them to know that it's okay to be pampered or have people pamper you, and also to match their outer beauty with their inner beauty. It's great to make that connection. We try our best to do that here at Babe.
For these young men and women, they plan to start their first day back with all the confidence they need. It was great that the community was able to come together on this. Babe Styling Studios, the Wilmington Police Department, they did a great job just instilling self-esteem, high self-esteem in these young women and men getting their haircuts and their hairstyles for back to school. So when they're sitting in the classroom, they can look flawless as they're getting their education. It was a great event, and I know that the next one is only going to be bigger and better. They have their 4th annual one coming up next year, so I hope to see a lot of you guys there. I know that I will be. India Sage Williams, WITN 22.
All right, number 4, I'm going to go ahead right now and shout out Councilman Bash Turner for the awesome Peace on the Streets. I mean, it was a packed, sold-out event. I mean, all of the kids were there in attendance to see their favorite artists get on stage and perform for them, while also encouraging a message of bringing peace to Wilmington. And that was a great story to be able to shine some light on, to show the positive things that are happening here in the city. So Peace on the Streets takes the cake for number 4.
We're here on the riverfront for Peace on the Streets, an event that's really truly an eye-opener for the people that live here in Wilmington, Delaware, specifically because it was once coined as Murder Town, USA. And with the Wilmington Police Department and other change agents, they've been working together to help to decrease crime, with shooting incidents now down by 58%. So when Councilman Vash Turner took this initiative into his own hands, he wanted to be able to bring in a partnership with Power 99 and help bring an event like this to Delaware to promote safety in the communities and also to celebrate how far they have come to help decrease crime. So while this community has a lot more growing to do, it's evident that they are taking full ownership of their shortcomings and continuing to look for ways to rise up.
Over 17,000 people live here, and it's rare to see the community come together on one mission. Councilman Vash Turner plans to challenge that narrative with Peace on the Streets, bringing people together on one idea: guns don't belong in the wrong hands.
Prevention works, but early intervention works even better because now we're getting in touch with them in elementary school, middle school, before they, even reach the point. Hopefully, that, we have an opportunity to talk to them about other opportunities that are available.
With 5,000 tickets sold, the plan was to meet the youth where they are.
You got to be able to speak the language of now, and you can't teach what you don't know, you can't lead where you don't go. I come from there, so I understand, and technology is about right now, and that's why I had to take it to.
We use a tool, music. Music is shaping society right now. And, we have a lot of negative music that's out there, but what Reeds do, we use the same hard beats, the same instrumentals, but we change our lyrics for positive lyrics, to give the kids something to, look forward to other than shooting and murders and different things that they face, going around in our urban community.
There's a lot of, senseless murders going on right now in the city of Philadelphia, and Delaware is, like our brother, is right there. So, I feel compelled to come out here and just get a youth some motivation and some game, you know what I mean? It's guidance, attention, motivation, and education.
If you have a dream, to really chase it and really try to eliminate the distractions as best as possible. We all have crazy distractions in our life that we just need to eliminate. So we have social media, we have peer pressure, we have a whole bunch of things. So I would say just try to eliminate those distractions as best as possible and just focus on your dream.
This platform was a great reminder for Delaware and how far it's come. But the work doesn't stop here. Youth are encouraged to follow up with their organizations in their community to continue building a stronger, more engaged Wilmington. India Sage Williams, WITN 22. Now, number 3 doesn't come that easy. I mean, it was probably a very thin line between another story and this one, but I have to give it to the Reentry Simulation program that I was able to attend, and it was a very eye-opening experience. I actually got to learn what it feels like to be someone who is trying to assimilate back into society after being incarcerated, and I will say right now that that was not easy. It was super frustrating, just trying to get basic things done like getting an ID or getting a checkup or getting food or getting a job. Like these things that I think I've probably taken for granted was very frustrating to do, in this program. And the thing about it was I got to leave, but a lot of people that are in these, situations, they can't escape their life. So being able to document that and just show people, another perspective of someone else was very rewarding for me. So I'm glad that I got to be a part of that experience, and it was definitely my top 3 of the year.
Hi everyone, today we're here at the Reentry Awareness Symposium held at the Wilmington Hope Commission. The purpose of this program is to show people exactly what it's like to live life as an ex-offender recently released from prison. And so today the participants will be able to experience that day-to-day challenge that a lot of ex-offenders are dealing with in our community. Let's take a look.
No one knew what to expect. This was not the type of test you could mentally prepare for. Lawmakers, state representatives, community leaders, and advocates have signed up to navigate throughout a pseudo-society as ex-felons. The U.S. Attorney Office, Wilmington City Council, and the Wilmington Hope Commission launched the simulation to help policymakers find the gaps in a broken criminal justice system. They believe by investing in prison reform and reentry efforts, less people will be imprisoned.
You have check marks, some of you do, on the state ID, birth certificate, or social security card. that is something that you have. If you do not have checks next to your state ID, birth certificate, or social security card, you do not have them.
What started out as an exercise quickly became a stressful reality for some. As an ex-offender, simple responsibilities like getting an ID became a real hindrance to accomplishing virtually anything. Okay, everyone, so the day has finally got started. Right now, I'm in line to get my state ID. Apparently, I cannot navigate throughout my life without all three IDs. I need my state ID, a birth certificate, and a social security card. I mean, this is just one of the ways that prove, the challenges that a lot of ex-offenders face as they are trying to assimilate back into the community. I mean, if you can just take a look right now, look at the line. It is long, and we're all standing here for the same thing. We all need this in order to be able to get through the day. I want you guys to stay tuned. There's a lot more challenges that I'm sure that I'm going to run into, and it's going to be an interesting day.
Thank you so much. And you'll just get back in line and then pay your...
One of the barriers that was hard coming out of jail was what they were speaking on, and there was the ID part. Coming home from jail, they say that it's an IDAP program inside the facility, but still when you come home, you still have to go through the whole runaround. It took me 2 months to get my ID. Without no ID, there's no job. Without no jobs, we resort back to our old ways.
Jail, a place no one wants to end up. Some participants would serve lengths of time for factors out of their control, such as no transportation to see their probation officer, struggling to find a job, or the inability to get an ID. According to Delaware U.S. Attorney David Weiss, within the first year, 50% of offenders return to prison.
These are serious issues, and this is a population that we have to address. 90% of our folks institutionalized come out of prison, and society has to be prepared to bring them back and to find a way to help these folks become functioning, productive members of society.
As for myself, I couldn't wait for this nightmare to be over with. Trying to keep up with my daily schedule as an ex-convict was overwhelming. This is not easy, people. I will tell you that this has not been an easy experience at all. I am just completely, I'm stressed out. I'm looking at all of the things that I need to do within my week, and it's nearly impossible. It makes me think about so many people that are in this type of situation and how they can't escape this reality. I get to leave here today, and this is it. But for many people, they can't escape this.
It's helpful. But this is so important for these individuals who are here, us as legislators and policymakers and program developers, to see it, to know that what we need to correct. Because you can't make a person walk a straight line if the system itself is not is broken. So that was the whole purpose of us doing this. The City Council partnering with the Achievement Center to do this because we make the laws. They're coming back into our communities that we govern as city legislators. And so, hoping that we come back after this and really see these wrongs and make changes. Programs can help the system, but policy changes cures the culture of it. And this culture here is causing, I don't mean to rant on, but it's the result of the trauma that the Center for Disease Control said that our children are experiencing.
At least you get to leave here. A lot of these people that are dealing with this, they don't get to get out of this lifestyle. What does that mean to you?
It's deep. It's really deep to me. It means to me that we have a broken system. It means that people are set up to fail. It means that our system, our community, the legislators are not doing their job. It means that we're losing tax dollars. Just like that, my parents, they pay taxes, my family pays taxes. When I was doing right, I paid taxes, so we're losing money.
The question now becomes, after paying their debt to society, does an individual deserve the right to the necessary tools to help them succeed? The response in the room was yes. Now the community is working to make that possible. Reporting for Wilmington, Delaware, India Sage Williams, WITN 22. Okay, so coming in at number 222. I would not be doing myself any justice if I didn't throw the HBCU Experience in there, being a proud HBCU graduate of the Delaware State University. So it was just a great time learning about the different journeys of each person who was on that HBCU Experience panel, influential leaders within their own industries coming back to give some insight to the students and the youth here in Wilmington about what it means to be an HBCU graduate, and just sharing that experience of going to an HBCU. It's very different. If you've been to an HBCU or you are an HBCU alum, you know exactly what I mean. It was a great event. I loved it, and I cannot wait until the next one, because they look like they're going to do it every year, guys. So again, thank you so much to the City of Wilmington, Earl Cooper, Ashley. You guys did such a great job on that. You guys had a week full of events. I couldn't cover each one of them, but me and Yesenia tag team to get the job done. This comes in at my number 2, the HBCU Experience panel.
September is Historically Black College and University Month in Wilmington, Delaware. So today we're at the Delaware Contemporary for the My HBCU Experience panel discussion, celebrating diversity, culture, and a very rich history. I happen to be a proud graduate of an HBCU, as well as our very own Yesenia Taveras. So events like this is very important to promote awareness within the community and educate people on the importance of these institutions. Historically black colleges or universities were established because predominantly white institutions disqualified African Americans from enrollment during segregation. HBCUs are an integral part of the black higher education experience.
So HBCU is an immersion in the culture. I think the culture is so important, and so those communities are geared towards the support and success of those young people. And once you go to an HBCU, you're never the same. So for me, it's not just homecomings, it's the network. It's going back and seeing the people that supported me from day one since I was there.
HBCUs are still important today, building the education achievement gap and preparing students to contribute to their communities, equipped with the right skill set to cultivate a great career.
HBCUs hold a special place in my heart. And I try to show that, every day. I expose that. I know that they can stand on their own, and that's why we're doing activities like we're doing the panel discussion to show you can be an executive, you can be an NFL, you can be an NBA player, and I've gone to these institutions. You can have a good time, you can get a scholarship. So really for me, that's what I'm all about, and that gives me joy as an individual. And having gone to Morehouse, being a little bit selfish, just the legacy that was a part of, I feel like I'm a part of that cloth as well, and that's something that I don't take lightly. There's a quote that said, Mother Morehouse has put a crown over your head. It's up to you to grow tall enough to wear it. So, those are just some of the things that I personally live by.
20% of all African American graduates received their degree from a HBCU. 25% graduated with science, technology, engineering, and mathematics degree, despite these schools making up only 3% of the nation's colleges.
I went into Bennett as a girl, and I left a woman. And so coming from Delaware, being a big fish in a little pond, when I got to Bennett, I was among other big fishes. And so iron sharpened iron. They challenged me. They humbled me, right? And so that experience changed who I was. That brought me back to Delaware to change my family and ultimately change the community. My HBCU experience was
life-changing,
transformative.
Better than somebody who didn't go to a HBCU.
Representatives from the mayor's office said they do plan to have more events like this every year, bridging the gap between influential leaders of today and future leaders of tomorrow. Well, there's more HBCU fun on the way, so make sure that you stay tuned throughout this week. Reporting for Wilmington, Delaware, India Sage Williams, WITN 22.
And this is my number 1 pick. Yes, I have to go with the Girls Can Do Anything conference. That conference means so much to me because, again, it was one of those stories of impact that showed young women that they have all options when it comes to becoming the best versions of themselves. So when people say, I'm living my best life, I don't think they really know what that means. And being able to speak to other women that are much older than them to really hear what it means to live your best life and just to be an all-around, strong, fearless, educated, just beautiful woman is an experience that you can't find anywhere else. So that was a really great story to cover. So thankful that I was able to be a part of it, and I received an award. So, it impacted me alone. So thank you so much to Chandra Pitts and One Village Alliance for sending us that press release to get out there and cover that story, because it was very important. And thank you so much for my award that I did receive at that conference. My number one pick is Girls Can Do Anything, because they can. What a great way to start our afternoon. Today we're here at the Girls Can Do Anything conference sponsored by One Village Alliance. Over 80 plus girls and women are going to partake in a day filled with learning about self-esteem, body image, leadership. The goal is to provide a safe place where these young women can use their voice to become the leaders that they aspire to be. Let's take a look. Educational and self-esteem building programs like the Girls Can Do Anything conference works to recognize the voice that young women have and create ways for them to contribute to this world. Young women in Wilmington and beyond face gender challenges that they come face to face with daily. Images in the media filled with ideas of what they should or shouldn't be.
With social media, with the music, it's very hard for them to be comfortable with who they are when everybody else is saying you should be like this. They suffer from the self-image disorder, thinking that they have to have a certain body type, there has to be a certain type of texture and things like that. And like I said, it's all the outer influences.
Studies have shown social media has an inverse effect on young women. Having a positive role model around is necessary, whether in the home or in the community. On their tour, GCDA noticed girls all across the world are lacking one important quality.
The most important thing is just self-love. Girls are being told so many things every day. They're seeing so many negative images, and they have such a box of what it means to be a girl and be a woman. But we see a fierce commitment in how empowered and inspired and excited girls get about the opportunity that we're giving them to redefine womanhood and what it means to be a girl.
Studies have shown for years girls and women have been left out of the conversation of leadership. Councilwoman Rashima Dixon says Wilmington is working to continue to be an inclusive city.
Our young women in the city have been getting a lot of attention, but I think there's still some they always need more reinforcements and more energy to kind of say, hey, come to me, talk to me, be, consoled, also just be a listening ear, not being judged as soon as you see me. If I'm not doing the right thing, just pull me aside and have a conversation. I also think about now the girls that I've worked with at a charter school in the city, that you think about all these different components of they need self-esteem, they need confidence, they need somebody to tell them that they have hope for you and you are a leader and you should take on the world in your own way. I think we don't do that enough, which I'm so happy for what One Village Alliance is doing with Girls Can Do Anything.
Representation matters everywhere, in the classroom, on the streets, in the dance studio, everywhere at the Girls Can Do Anything conference. But saying that is just one part. The action is so much more important. So Chelsea and I, we do a lot of things without each other, but also we do a number of things together. So they see us together all the time, whether it be here at the conference, she comes to my school sometimes, I go to her studio sometimes. So just being a support in our perspective fields, but also in other activities that we do outside of those.
Building a bond through education, sisterhood, and sharing ideas is a part of GCDA's integrated approach to growth and social change. In addition to that, Pastor Edwin Estevez says, keep your doors open and your ears too.
I just think, again, it's listening to the stories. We have to listen. We're so busy, right? We're always on to the next thing. It's hard to just pause and listen to someone. We often feel like, okay, we gotta fix it, or, well, I don't know if I believe their story, or it seems weird, as opposed to just being there with them.
We have over 200 girls registered today. We had over 3,000 girls participate in Africa, so we really want to grow this. We already are in talks to take this to Harrisburg, to Baltimore, and of course back to different countries across the continent. It's been an amazing year, so this is our best yet, but next year will only be better.
One thing was made clear here today, and that's that every young woman has the power to change their own world by using their voice and using their minds. One Village Alliance says that they plan to continue to do the work necessary in the community to help empower these young women. All they need is your support. So once you get the chance, stop by sometime and just say, hey, we see you, keep going. Until next time, Wilmington,
India Sage Williams, WITN 22.
Well, that wraps up my top 5 picks of the year. Oh my goodness. And there's so many more stories that we have done that you guys can make sure that you go ahead and check out and visit on our website, WITN22.org, and also follow us on Facebook at WITN22WILM, as well as Instagram. I'm excited for 2019. I don't know about you all, but I'm very excited. I have a lot of goals to smash. I have a lot more stories to tell, and just showcase what it means to be from Wilmington, to be a person in Wilmington, and to be someone who's impacting Wilmington. And there are so many stories that are out here that I just have to dig up. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and the rest of the team here at Chambers 22. I'll see you guys in 2019. Take care.